through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
We make our way to first pitch on this opening day. No baseball community like this one. Rock and I'll be back after the turn, and we'll get you set for Royals and Brewers.
When you're a cop, keeping people safe is the job.
We kick off the home schedule here today. The Kansas City Royals, a playoff team from a year ago, taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. And heavy hearts, Bob Uecker is on our mind. A beautiful celebration on the field prior to the game. All those players lining up on the field, earning that right to be called major leaguers on this special 2025 edition of Opening Day. We'll hear those calls forever in our memories. Uecker always on our mind. And with that, we welcome you. Hi, everybody. Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder. We'll hear from Sophia Minnaert in just a moment. And just as Bob Uecker would be yelling at us to do right now, talk some baseball. And that's what we'll do. The Brewers had a rough time in New York, Rock. They dropped all three of those games. Tough time on the mound as well. But now you turn your attentions to the Royals and being home in this friendly environment.
Well, the Brewers are probably in the best stretch of baseball that they've been in years. I mean, 6 of 7 years they've been able to get to the postseason. Division titles 3 of the last 4 and 2 in a row. Make no mistake, this is a very good young baseball team. They got caught into a buzzsaw in New York. The Yankees are swinging the bats incredibly well. The Brewers offense wasn't so bad either, but these guys, talking to them down on the field during batting practice today, they are fired up to be home. They've heard a lot of these guys that haven't been there, heard a lot about the crowd and the enthusiasm here at American Family Field and in Milwaukee. They are fired up, and I think this is going to be a good start to good things to come for this team.
Brewers have the reigning National League Manager of the Year. It's his second opening day as a big league skipper, Pat Murphy. He's standing by with Sophia Minnaert.
Thanks, B.A. Murph, as we start this home season, the first without Bob Uecker, what are you thinking about and feeling as we just saw the tribute to him a moment ago?
Yeah, it's emotional. You know, he was such a great friend to so many of us and such a great person. You know, we'll never fill his shoes. There'll never be anyone like him, but I'm just proud to know that I had him for those years and that Milwaukee had him for those years. And we try to move on, but I don't think he'll miss a pitch. Legends never die, so I think he'll be with us today.
It's an emotional day, and on the mound, Elvin Rodriguez is getting ready for his Brewers debut. What kind of length do you hope to get from Elvin today?
Yeah, we're hoping we can get 3 or 4 innings at the most. We're decimated on the mound right now, and all we can do is go pitch by pitch and do everything we can, all hands on deck, to try to, you know, get back into a point where we're a little healthier.
All right, Murph, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Well, some of the biggest names in the game here. Christian Yelich, 2 of the youngest stars, superstars in baseball as well. Jackson Churio and Bobby Witt Jr. Time for baseball. Let's do it. Lineups, first pitch, opening day at American Family Field. We've got it for you next. Milwaukee Brewers baseball on FanDuel Sports Network is brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs.
I think a lot of it just comes from belief in yourself and belief that you can make something happen.
And a base hit into right. The Brewers clinch the National League Central. What a day.
Creo que la celebración, nunca había vivido algo así, la verdad. Y fue especial, fue bonito. Ver el carrito con la cerveza sin alcohol, la verdad que fue divertido también.
The non-alcoholic beverages, that's great.
Yeah, he's not 21.
Yelich, a high drive.
You take that confidence into the offseason and build on it and come back into the next year with, bigger goals in mind.
Goodbye!
We gotta do our job, do what we can, and winning is fun, so we do a lot of that.
Ortiz, a bullet! And this ball game is over! That ball's driven deep right center field. Frelick is there, he leaps, and he makes the catch! Oh my goodness!
And that's what's fun, that's why we play.
In the air, it is gone! They've done it again! Wire-to-wire champions a year ago, and they put a comma on this golden era of Brewers baseball. Not a period. It is ongoing. Central Division champions, and now they play at home for the first time in 2025. Great to have you all with us. It's cold outside, the way it should be in April and late March in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Roof is all sealed up. It's perfect inside American Family Field. Brian Anderson, Bill Schroeder, our Emmy Award-winning reporter Sophia Menard. Today's game produced by Brent Reeland, directed by John Walsh, and our outstanding production and technical crew, and we are so delighted to have all of you with us today on what is a day of celebration and a day of remembrance and a day where we get to enjoy some Brewers baseball that kicks off what we hope, Rock, will be a great summer of Brewers baseball once again. And it has been a lot of fun around here for a long time now.
Yes, it has. I mean, 6 of 7 years, as we talked about when we came on the air, they've made it to the postseason, looking to win the division for the 3rd consecutive year. They've got a young, hungry team. These guys were swinging the bats extremely well in spring training. Didn't swing the bats too poorly at Yankee Stadium, although the Yankees put on a show, hitting 15 home runs. But this is a team that is destined for success, and Pat Murphy would have nothing less.
Sellout crowd has made their way in. The tailgating scene, epic as always. Those smoke plumes coming out of the parking lot. Looked like the place was on fire.
That's good, though, right? I mean, the grills, hopefully they're going out before too long, but it's one of the traditions, one of the many traditions here at American Family Field. The parking lot's packed, as we talked about earlier. I mean, there were cars lined up to get in here at 5 a.m. Kind of typical.
But it's so great to come into a ballpark, and if you live here, you know this well, to be able to see green grass, neon green grass. Field is in immaculate condition. The signature of Bob Uecker out there in center field. Bob always had that immaculate signature as well. Used to make fun of us all the time for our sloppy handwriting. Take your time when you sign autographs so people can read it, and now we get to enjoy that. Always loved that famous signature of Bob Uecker. Not 1 but 2 statues, and they have been heavily visited for the last few months. Opening day 2025, Brewers and Royals, and we can't wait to bring it to you, and can't wait to bring you games all season long. Just awaiting Elvin Rodriguez to pop out of that dugout. He gets the start for Milwaukee today. It'll be a bit of a spot start. Brewers are not in great shape, Rock, in their rotation. The reinforcements are coming. They do have 3 pitchers that are on their way back, could be back in a month. But until that time, they're going to have to hold as best they can and try to keep themselves in it record-wise. And they're going to have to go with guys like Elvin Rodriguez. Nestor Cortez, new addition. Rough start at his first one as a Brewer.
Here are your 2025 Milwaukee Brewers.
And that's the sight and the sound we've been waiting on for a long winter. Brewers baseball is back at American Family Field. There's Matt Quatrero, skipper of the Kansas City Royals. Looks like Team Pyomps out there for the play ball kids.
Having a good time out there in the field with Dad.
That's great. Nice. And let's do that. Elvin Rodriguez, Rock. This is a guy, I'm sure that heart is pounding in his chest right now, not just to get a start in the big leagues.
Yeah.
After pitching overseas last year, but he's celebrating his 27th birthday today, and he gets a start on the home opener.
Yeah, and he's thrown the baseball pretty well down in spring training. He made 5 appearances, started 3 games, had 2 rough appearances, but the other 3 extremely well. Yeah, big fastball, good slider. 32 games over in Japan last year with the Yakult Swallows. A good earned run average at 180. He has had Major League time with Detroit and Tampa Bay.
Batting order brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel, and a familiar face leading off, Jonathan India, the former Red. One of the game's great young players, Bobby Witt Jr., the batting champion a year ago, and Vinny Pasquantino, who's been bothered by tightness in the hamstring, so he's going to be the DH today. 9-time All-Star Sal Perez is still the big name in that lineup. Royals in their powder blues. How sweet are those unis? Brennan Miller will call the balls and strikes. Chris Conroy, the crew chief, at first. John Tempane at second base, and Edwin Jimenez is the third base umpire. And umpires making sure everything is closed up, buttoned up. All the pieces in place here.
What are we waiting on? Somebody throw a hot dog on the field?
Nope, waiting on the pie amps.
The kids are still there.
They locked him in.
Hotel California.
Somebody's got to let him out.
You can check out but never leave.
Tell you, Katina Shaw, she's in control. She's got it handled.
Getting a hold of Ryan Woodley and the ground crew. Hey, let me out of here.
They'll be there shortly, Katina. Only adds to the building drama.
There we go.
It's all about the details, partner. It's great to be back with you again, by the way.
Welcome back. I mean, it's been a while, right?
19 years for me, 31 for you.
Yep.
We love each and every minute of it. And here we go. First pitch of the season in Milwaukee. In there for a strike. And we're off and running. Jonathan India getting the start at third base today. Something he had never done prior to his tenure with the Royals. Came to Kansas City in a trade. India, Bobby Witt Jr., Vinny Pasquantino will be the first three against Elvin Rodriguez. And you heard Pat Murphy talk to Sophia about Rodriguez. They are hopeful to get 3 innings out of Rodriguez.
Yeah, good slider right there. 4-seamer, 2-seamer slider. Again, Pat Murphy trying to patch together a starting rotation right now.
Pitched out of the bullpen in Japan a year ago, was with the Rays in 2023, Rodriguez. And you just never know in this game. You earn that right to put that big league uniform on. And fate has found him here today with the Brewers in need of starting pitchers. He's been stretched out enough to give him at least 3 innings. That's a line drive, base hit into left field. Yelich over to cut it off, and that's how the game begins.
Yep, hanging curveball right there. Left one up. Let's check out the Landmark Credit Union defense for the Crew. They played pretty well defensively at Yankee Stadium. Yelich, Mitchell, and Frelick. First time Yelich has played left field this year. Capper, Ortiz, Terang, Hoskins, and William Contreras catching for the 4th consecutive game.
Good to see Christian Yelich back and healthy. Back surgery a year ago. And says he feels great. Relieved a lot of pressure in his back, something he's going to have to deal with for the rest of his career. Bobby Witt steps in. One of the game's more dangerous hitters. Not only did he pop 32 home runs last year, he led both leagues in batting average. Witt hit .332.
Amazing. 1 out of 3.
And a big swing and a miss. Rodriguez challenged him with a fastball. Rock, this is one of those series you get a look at the future of the game in Jackson Chourio and Bobby Witt Jr.
Yeah, right. Both of these teams made the playoffs a year ago. Kansas City improved greatly, immensely from last year.
Little tapper, Rodriguez, and no chance to get Witt. Even if he comes up with it cleanly, Witt, one of the fastest players in the game, and that'll be an infield hit.
Kind of a tough break. Good pitch by Rodriguez. Ate him up. And that fastball boring in on his hand jammed him. But put in a pretty good spot down the third baseline. Really no play for Rodriguez, even if he's able to catch it.
So 2 men aboard to start it. Here's Vinny Pasquantino now. Big power bat in this Kansas City lineup. And Rodriguez crowds him. Pasquantino tweaked his hamstring toward the end of spring training. He's been playing through it, but he is the DH today. Our old friend Mark Canha, who was traded from Milwaukee to Kansas City, gets a start at first base. It was a late spring training trade that sent Canha to Kansas City.
Yeah, a couple of former Brewers in the starting lineup for the Royals. Hunter Renfroe, Mark Canha.
Rodriguez could use a double play ball here. Try to settle this first inning down. Pasquantino pops it up. And that looks like it'll head to the seats. Live wire crowd as always. And a packed house. Brewers are undergoing some renovations down the right field line. That's where that sign we showed you earlier. I must be in the front row, the famous Euchre sign. So that's down the right field line. The baseball operations offices are under that. So that's the only area that is getting a bit of a remodel. But the ballpark looks great. A lot of new additions. The giant scoreboard at center field, beams.
This ballpark could not be in better condition right now. Ryan Woodley and his staff, heck of a job by them.
Panels are closed up today. It's 40 degrees outside. A perfect 65 inside with the roof closed and the panels closed. And a swing and a miss. Pasquantino chases the high cheese.
You don't want to be throwing too many 3-1 pitches to this guy. Or the guy on deck, Salvador Perez. Got that one by him.
Full count to Pasquantino.
Fastball at 95, good velocity, pretty straight with a four-seamer. Important for Rodriguez to be able to land this off-speed stuff consistently.
Never faced Kansas City. He's never pitched in Milwaukee until now. And Pasquantino, high fly ball over is Frelick. Both runners tag. Frelick hauls it in. Only India will advance. And the first out of the game comes on a scary fly ball off the bat of Vinny Pasquantino.
Yeah, glad we're not in Yankee Stadium. That's probably what would have left the ballpark. The ball really carried well over the weekend in the Bronx. Easy catch for Sal Frelick.
So the first out, Rodriguez can breathe a little easier. And now Salvador Perez, icon in Kansas City, part of those World Series teams. Had a bit of a rebirth last year, and he won't do all of the catching. Used to be one of the great workhorses behind the plate. Started 90 games last year, and that'll probably be around the same number this season.
I'll play him over at first base. He kind of likes first base. He'd rather do that than DH.
Freddie Fermin is the backup catcher. He'll get a lot of time with Salvador Perez, needing a little extra time away from the gear. Jammed him at a foul ball, and it's 0-2.
And Cutter backed up that time on the inside corner. Not where he wanted it, but Perez not able to get the bat head out.
See a Bobby Witt's on the move at first base. Very fast runner. Royals are built very similar to the Brewers. They like to push the running game, especially with Witt. And a swing and a miss. Had him out in front. Dropped a curveball on him.
Yeah, perfect location when you're ahead in the count. Curveball down out of the strike zone. Got him to chase. Perfect two-strike pitch. Got him on 3 pitches.
Rodriguez, 27 today, just his 6th major league start. Just his 9th major league game as he opens up with strike 1 on Michael Massey. Massey, Kansas City's talented second baseman. First and third, nobody, I beg your pardon, 2 outs, nobody in. And Rodriguez trying to keep it that way.
Really incredible numbers over in Japan a year ago. 180 ERA, 32 games.
Yakult Swallows, one of the teams in Tokyo. That's a big team over there. Hit hard. That is deep. Left field, Yelich. Can't get it. And it bounces out. That'll be a ground rule double. India will score. Witt will be sent back to third. And it's an RBI double for Michael Massey. Brewers cannot avoid first inning damage this season.
Able to get a 1-0 lead in yesterday's ball game, but the Yankees were able to storm back quickly. That ball just kept going. Yelich didn't miss it by much. But Massey got good wood on that baseball. It was deep and it was slicing away from Yelly. Stayed in the ballpark, but a run in.
Fortunate that it did bounce out. Witt would have scored easily had that ball stayed in. Churio, the designated hitter today, with the outfield of Yelich, Mitchell, and Frelick. Early visit to the mound by pitching coach Chris Hook. High pitch count in the first.
The Brewers pitch counts, their starting rotation has had high pitch counts in each of the first 3 games.
Brewers did place Aaron Savali on the injured list today. Sophia will have a little bit more on that later in the broadcast. So a lot of injuries out of the gates early with the arms. Certainly hoping Tobias Myers and Jose Quintana, Brandon Woodruff, 3 major pieces in that starting rotation, will be back hopefully by the month of May.
Talking about the month of April.
Soft liner into left, a base hit, and this is going to bring in 2 runs. Bobby Witt will score, Massey right behind him, and the Royals put a 3 spot on the board in the first inning.
Yeah, last thing you needed to see. Opening day, 3 runs in the first inning. The Brewers are going to have to play from behind once again. That was a breaking ball. Slider or cutter right off the end of the bat, but able to dump it into left. Ball was up a little bit. Good piece of hitting to drive in a couple of 2-out runs. All 3 runs coming with 2 outs.
And now the 7th man in the inning to bat, MJ Melendez. Massey with the RBI double. Well, beg your pardon, the 2 RBI single. Melendez, Kansas City left fielder, and tied him up. A strikeout to end the inning. 3 runs are in though. Chris Bubich on the mound. We'll see Jackson Churio lead off. Hunter Renfroe drives in 2. Royals get 3 in the top of the first. Now the Brewers coming up. Pat Murphy, the reigning National League Manager of the Year. 2nd season as a big league skipper. As we take a look at his Potawatomi Casino Hotel batting order with Churio, Yelich, and Contreras at the top. Rhys Hoskins, Sal Frelick, Vinny Capra, Mitchell, Ortiz, and Terang round out the starting 9. Chris Bubich on the mound. He's in that starting rotation as their 5th starter. Pitched out of the bullpen last year, coming back from Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, first start for him in 2 years. Good numbers out of the pen a year ago. 267 his earned run average, more strikeouts than innings pitched. Brewers have faced a lot of lefties to start the year.
Jackson Chourio just fine with that. And a big swing from Chourio. Bubic won't overpower you with a fastball, but he's got good velocity. Got a great changeup.
Changeup, sweeper. Doesn't throw many curves and sliders anymore. It's more the sweeper.
First time Chourio has not started in left field as he gets the DH duties. And it's right down the heart and a swing and a miss as Chourio is out number 1.
Yeah, that fastball pretty straight. Got it by him.
Here's Christian Yelich now. Yelich gets a nice hand. Tell you, when he was injured last year, dealing with the chronic back injury, as Yelich squirts one foul. At this point, Rock, you just don't know how much baseball Yelich has left at the time of that injury last year. There's concern that his back would become too big of an issue, but fortunately for him, he got the right kind of care and a surgery in the back, which is always scary, but a very successful surgery. And Yelich says he feels great.
As good as he's felt in a long time. He was leading the league in hitting before he went on the injured list.
Yelich has started all 4 games. First 3 games was as the designated hitter, kind of saving his left field start until the home opener. Spent a lot of time in that DH role. And a swing and a miss. Perez will secure it at first. Back-to-back strikeouts to start it for Bubic. And here comes William Contreras. He's in our Hyundai driver's seat. William Contreras at American Family Field last year. 285 average, popped 12 homers, OPS at 843. One of the game's top catchers, both sides of the ball.
And comes to the ballpark to play every day. Does a real good job going to the opposite field. The Kansas City Royals are giving him a lot of room in right center. They've got Garcia, the center fielder, swung way around toward left.
Contreras has caught all 4 games this season. Eric Haas is the backup. 23 homer year a year ago. He drove in 92. He was named the Brewers MVP. Second straight year he's won the Brewers MVP. That's voted on by the baseball writers in the Milwaukee chapter.
Silver Slugger Awards.
And Contreras fights it off foul. 1-2 the count. Bubic throwing strikes.
That's his forte. I mean, throwing strikes, doesn't walk that many. Good job out of the bullpen.
Royals spot him a 3-0 lead. Massey an RBI double, and then Hunter Renfroe with a 2 RBI single. 1-2, and back to the screen it goes. Brewers have the Royals and the Reds in town this opening homestand. 7-gamer. It'll conclude Sunday.
Interesting, the first 2 series of the year, interleague games.
Taking a pass through the American League with the Yankees and the Royals before the division rivals get here. Bubic strikes out the side. Not a great start. Royals get 3 in the first. Brewers go down swinging 3 times in the bottom of the first. That's not going to dampen the mood. It's opening day, the home opener in Milwaukee. We head to the 2nd inning.
Opener here at American Family Field. Elvin Rodriguez making his Brewers debut on his birthday. Needed 26 pitches to get through that first inning. When we spoke to Pat Murphy before the game today, they need some length from him here today, considering the 2 short starts that they got in New York. Aaron Savali went on the injured list with the left hamstring strain. He was yesterday's starter, went just 3 innings. So Murph told us that they were hoping to get 3 innings at least, or up to 70 pitches for Elvin Rodriguez. He was the only pitcher that did not pitch in the Yankees series. He did do a touch and feel off the mound Wednesday at the team workout to get himself ready for this in case he was needed, but he's ready to go here, guys. And don't forget that part of this is that Abner Uribe is serving his 4th and final game of his suspension going back to last season. So they're also down a reliever. They have a fresh arm in Grant Anderson, who was the corresponding move with Aaron Savali, but certainly Pat Murphy would like to see some length from Rodriguez.
And this really isn't a surprise. I think the Brewers, going out of spring training, knew that this was going to be a bullpen game today, in hopes that Rodriguez can give him maybe 3 or 4 innings.
Mark Canha, Kansas City's lead man here in the second. A pop-up to Hoskins. The former Brewer is retired. Now you got to survive the first month of the year until the reinforcements come. And by the way, the good point Sophia made about Abner Uribe, when you have a suspended player, you have to play a man short. Yeah. It's a part of the penalty for the player and the team. So the Brewers roster is 25 right now.
Be available tomorrow.
Yep, 4-game suspension. He never made it back up after that skirmish, and then he got hurt, and so that suspension carried over to this season for Uribe.
Had to be a nice arm to get back. I mean, he throws the triple digits, good slider, needs to throw strikes, but it's going to be nice to have him back in that bullpen.
Maikel Garcia, big swing and a miss, and Rodriguez in a 2-1 count. Garcia making his first ever start in center field. Been playing there in spring training, prepare for this, as he drills one into center field. That is deep, and that is going to be gone. Maikel Garcia with a home run out of the 9th spot in the batting order, his 2nd of the year. Boy, plenty of thunder in that bat, and it's 4-0 Kansas City. And they are doing all they can to spoil the party here in Milwaukee.
Yeah, that was a 2-ball, 1-strike fastball right down the middle, about 92, 93 miles an hour, and he did not miss it off the batter's eye. Had to throw strike, didn't want to walk him, and he takes advantage of it and knocks it out of the ballpark. 4-0 here in the second.
Rough pass through the first time in the batting order for Rodriguez. Royals with 5 hits, 4 runs through the first 9 batters. Top of the order with India as he fouls it back.
He's got to do a better job catching the edges. Fastball in the mid-90s doesn't get it done at this level, right down the middle.
0-2 the count on India. Single to start the ball game last inning. Popped him up. And Contreras with the mask off, squeezes it for out number 2. 2 away from Bobby Witt Jr. Rockies in our advanced stat. It's brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. 3 players in the big leagues last year that went 30-30. Ohtani, Ramirez, and Witt. Serious company that young Bobby Witt Jr. is in.
Look at Ohtani's numbers in the 50s in both categories.
Scary.
But this is for sure one of the best players in the big leagues. As young as he is, he's figured it out.
Soft liner right to Terang. And the inning is over, but the Royals tack one more on. Home run by Maikel Garcia. 4-0 Kansas City. See if the Brewers bats can go to work.
Brewers teamed up with the Milwaukee Admirals again to offer a hockey night ticket package, including one Brewers ticket for Thursday night's game and a hockey-style hooded sweatshirt. Get tickets at brewers.com/theme nights.
Oh, these look nice. Bubic back on the mound to face Rhys Hoskins. It's good. I'm taking this one home. It's fit me. It doesn't fit you. It's a medium, Rock.
Yeah, I don't think I could squeeze into that.
Cut that in half. Hoskins, a foul ball. Bubic pouring in the strikes. And his offense giving him some run support. Great to be back with you, partner.
Yeah.
And all of our crew. Felt like we never left.
Didn't hear much from you in the offseason. Was that by design?
I knew your schedule.
You knew my schedule. Yeah, beat Vukovic. Yeah.
0-2 the count. And a big chopper over to Witt. One away. Well, you did a great job with Joe Buck and Joe Girardi on the national game on ESPN.
Yeah, thanks. That was fun. I mean, Joe Buck very gracious. Joe Girardi was a lot of fun to be with, and the three-man booth, that creates different type situation than we're used to, but we kind of figured it out. It was a lot of fun.
They called you Bill a lot. Did you remember they were talking to you, or did you think you were in trouble the whole game?
Well, it was a lot easier for me to know they were talking to me when they said Bill as opposed to me saying Joe.
That could go either way with
Joe Buck, Joe Girardi. The producer's name was Joe.
Joe Buck told me you were his first-round draft pick. He said he had the choice of his partners. He said you were #1.
Yeah,
See?
Yeah, I tell you, I appreciate Joe showing confidence in me. We had a great time. It was actually a really good game.
Yeah.
Brewers had the tying run at second base in the 9th.
One away, Sal Frelick here in the second inning. 4 in a row retired by Bubic. Well, he did a great job, and it was great to see the Brewers on national television for the first game of the year at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
And then you had Jeff Levering for the last 2. I mean, you're just churning through play-by-play guys right now.
Yeah, then I get home and I listen to you doing basketball. Well done again.
Thank you, sir.
You had some good games, didn't you?
Yeah, we had a nice run. No one shining moments, but some good games, good quality games this year. A lot of chalk in the NCAA tournament. All the #1 seeds advance. Frelick draws a walk, first base runner for the Brewers.
Yeah, he's really putting together some good at-bats as Sal Frelick with all the left-handers the Brewers have faced. In spring training, Pat Murphy made a concerted effort to make sure his lefties were getting at-bats against left-handed pitching, knowing this stretch was going to be a lot of lefties.
There's Vinny Capra. Anybody that's got Rush as his walk-up music, instant to the top. And he's already had his moment. First big league homer comes at Yankee Stadium on opening day. First Brewer home run of the season.
And he hit his way onto the roster with 6 home runs in spring training. First at bat this year.
Powerball home run count for Milwaukee. Jake Bauers homered yesterday off the foul pole in right field. Capra's got a chance, and he knows it is a key window in his career. He's 28 years of age. He's bounced around a little bit. Brief big league time with Toronto and Pittsburgh. 3 games with the Brewers last year, but he's hoping this is the year that he sticks, and he's getting the chance at third base against lefties. Little flare, right center. Back on it is Massey, and it's a second out.
And he and Oliver Dunn have played a really good third base. Brewers should be very good defensively once again, winning the Gold Glove for team defense, and again this year or last year.
Well, there's a great defender right there, Garrett Mitchell, and hoping for a healthy season this season. 69 games last year. He popped 8 homers in those 69 games. What a talent he is. And now hoping he can avoid the injured list this season.
They got hit in the hand, in Yankee Stadium, and that was kind of a one of those oh my goodness situations. Broke his finger last year.
It was a left index finger. Didn't rejoin the team until July. That is paint on the corner. Strike 2. Oh yeah, got the great spikes on the Bob Uecker tribute Nikes. Love that.
Man, that's something, huh?
Kudos to the artist who did that for Mitchell. Bob Uecker tributes everywhere. This will always be Bob's home. I've been here 19 years. It still feels like I'm walking into Bob's house.
Well, Bob Uecker is and always will be Brewers baseball.
See the bouquet that's up there in the radio booth. Jeff Levering and Lane Grindle, Kent Sommerfeld, Josh Mauer. Tough day for those guys as well.
Yeah, did the same thing in spring training. Left his seat unoccupied.
0-2 pitch. Mitchell, slow roller, no chance. Infield hit. So a walk and a single in this second inning.
Well, Bobby Witt Jr. got one just like that back in the first inning. That one right off the end of the bat. And no chance. A single for Garrett Mitchell. A breaking pitch right off the end. Stayed on it long enough to get a piece and able to beat it at first base.
The benefits of putting the ball in play. So here is the new Brewers shortstop, Joey Ortiz. Taking on the heavy burden of replacing Willie Adames. Ortiz is a slick fielding shortstop. He was a slick fielding third baseman a year ago, but his natural position is shortstop. And after some deliberation between Turang and Ortiz, Brewers open up the season with Ortiz at short, Turang at second. You couldn't go wrong either way.
Yeah, I mean, Ortiz looked really good in New York. Yeah, Turang's shoulder issue at the end of spring training, I think, made the decision easy for the Brewers.
2 on, 2 out, 0-2 pitch, fouled away by Ortiz. And I think the message to Joey O is that you're not trying to replace Willie Adames's production. Very few can do that. Just play a steady shortstop. He's going to give you the flashy play as well. And contribute when you can offensively. Muscles that one. Slow roller, going to be a tough play. And the throw off the bag. Canna had to come off the bag. That ball had so much English on it. They'll score it as an infield hit, and the Brewers have them loaded with 2 outs.
Yeah, a couple of infield hits, and the Brewers are in business. Bases loaded. And with 2 outs. And check it out. Jammed on that. He's able to get a bat on it. Look how far inside that was. Bobby Witt Jr. had a long way to go, just not able to make an accurate throw. And the bases are loaded. Inning continues.
You can see that ball really die when it hit the grass. I think that altered the rhythm of Bobby Witt Jr. He had to change directions. And it'll go as an infield hit. Now the Brewers with the bases loaded, and Bryce Turang coming up. Turang homered at Yankee Stadium. 3 career grand slams.
And against lefties, he likes to use left field, likes to flip it into left field. Let's see if he can get one up in his zone. At bats against lefties have been better.
Brewers had 10 salamis a year ago. And a bouncing ball. Canna stays in front, race to the bag, and the inning is over. That's a nice play over there by Mark Canna. Brewers strand them loaded. Failed to score in the second. 4-0 Royals. We head to the third.
who epitomizes a champion the way this man does right here. There is no one out here. What an example for us to be with every single day. Bob Uecker. No doubt.
Some of my favorite memories, and I know you feel the same.
Yeah.
Those celebrations with Ueck.
They never really start until Ueck is down in the clubhouse.
I was with him. We walked down there, and I had told him they're waiting for you, and he thought for a minute about not going in the clubhouse. Said, "You got to go.
You got to go. They'd be devastated."
And, yeah. So that was the celebration, and yeah, that's one of my favorite pictures right there. Look at that.
Yeah.
What a shot. Mark Atanasio in the background. Champagne flying. Brewers have enjoyed a lot of champagne celebrations. Been a great era of Brewers baseball. A pop-up by Pasquantino. Ortiz puts it away for out number 1.
I remember after a 26-year postseason layoff back in '08, Brewers made the postseason. There was a pep rally before the team went to Philly.
Over at the Summerfest grounds.
Yeah, Summerfest grounds. It was packed too. Ueck said a few words, and I tell you, celebrations were always much better when Bob Uecker was around and was involved in them. And there've been a lot of them in the last 7 years. He's looking down upon us, expecting big things out of this team.
0-1 to Perez. He lines one into left center, a base hit. The elusive, clean inning. We're starting pitchers, starters and relievers. I'm not talking about Bowers, who pitched 2 scoreless innings, but only been able to muster 8 scoreless frames of the 26 they have posted. Been a rough start on the mound for Milwaukee. Going to have to slug your way to some wins in the early going until the reinforcements come around.
Yeah, short starts just about every game except for the first. Freddie went 5 innings. He pitched really well. Other than that, there's been a lot of short starts. We'll see how long Rodriguez can go, and that puts a lot of pressure on the bullpen.
Michael Massey. Fly ball into left. Yelich eases over. And he's got it for the second out. Massey had that 2-out RBI double in the first, kind of opened it up. Renfroe then singled in 2 more runs, 3 2-out runs in the first, and then Michael Garcia homered last inning. 4-0 Kansas City.
And Massey's going to left field in each of his first 2 at bats today.
And here comes Renfroe, always ready to fire on the first one, and he does, and he lines one deep left center field. Mitchell's got it. Close call, but an 8-pitch inning, and more importantly, a scoreless inning. 4-0 Kansas City. Brewers coming to bat. We go back to the top of the order. It's 4-0 Kansas City, but does not dampen the celebration here opening day in Milwaukee. And Mark Atanasio joins us, Brewers owner, down there with his family, and Debbie. See Mike behind him. And,
that's actually, yeah, that's our, yeah, there's Mike and our friend Phil.
Good to see you, Mark, and always special to be here for opening day, but obviously the heaviness of being here without Bob Uecker. And I also noticed you had your dad's pen, your dad Joe, who was such a big part of opening days before he passed as well. I'm sure this brings a lot of emotions for you, good and bad.
Yeah, it's bittersweet. I was saying this is our 21st season, and you know, baseball is timeless, but life isn't. So my dad was such a big part of things the first 10 years. My mom passed away just 6 days after Uecker, and oddly made a condolence call to Judy Uecker 5 days before. You know, we all thought she'd live forever, but as we know, that's not the bargain in life. And all huge Brewers fans and all good friends.
Watching Jackson Churio here, and a called strike 3. Mark, I know we've been sharing Bob Uecker stories, and I know you've been asked to speak on his behalf and for him and about him through these last few months. Give us something that we don't know about with Bob Uecker. You had so many interactions with him, something you could share that just kind of solidified your relationship, maybe in your early days too. I know you guys had some really interesting conversations when you took over as owner.
Yeah, he didn't want to meet me because he thought I was some banker from wherever. I was a banker for 1 year in my life. That was enough for you. And you know, Bob Jr. told me, which I shared in one of these interviews, that he thought, well, you know, when Bud, you know, went on to he'd just be the commissioner, that maybe his run was over here and didn't want to work for somebody else. And it was very hard to get him to that. Wendy Sealy got him to that first meeting in Scottsdale at the Phoenician, which you said he'd give me 30 minutes. He was very busy, and turned into 3 hours. And they're just a great friend to all of our family. I said to the media, and we got this great. He even met my my youngest granddaughter Ella, who just turned 1. Pictures of her in the booth, and it's hard to turn around and look at the booth and whoa. Yikes, is right.
That got him. Fortunately, looked like a glancing blow here, and Yelich will head to first base. That was scary.
Yeah, that was high. He was able to get out of the way. Not sure where it got him. Yeah, fastball up and in, head high.
Ooh,
got him on the fingers.
Yeah, like the bottom is right-handed.
Yeah. Mark, getting back to the team, you know, what was your message to the team in spring training? It's been a really good stretch for your team. 2 in a row, division championships, 3 out of 4. What were some of the things you wanted them to keep in mind going into the year?
We just talked about, you know, trusting each other and trusting the process. You know, Pat Murphy ran an unbelievable meeting. You could see all the players, you know, 60+ players in that were all focused. Murph mixes serious with laughter, and got big laughs for all his jokes. And by the way, if you notice, he got as big a cheer as any of the players today.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I just usually emphasize that Debbie and I are there to support them and their families in any which way we can. And you know, they have a lot of confidence in everybody in that room. And you know, to the point this year, given where we started right now, you know, we played the Yankees very similarly last year, except in this ballpark, 1 run different. And, you know, they ended up winning 94 games. We won 93. We got some things to sort out with pitching. We will. A lot of guys, we have a wave of guys coming back, you know, probably starting with Tobias Meyer. And, you know, we're going to be good this year. I'll say it now.
I'll tell you, a good move is to get Jose Quintana. I got tired of watching him beat the Brewers, so a good move picking up him. Talk about that process a little bit.
Yeah, well, you know, it was in spring training. I said to Matt, what about Quintana? He said, well, you know, just talked to one of the Levinson's agent. And, you know, what I said to Matt is, look, at a minimum, we don't have to face him because he just beats us every time, right?
That's true.
And also just an outstanding guy. He's rehabbing and he's really building up his arm. Not really rehabbing, he's building up his arm in Arizona. From the moment he stepped in our clubhouse, he exerted leadership, and we're looking forward to see him pitch in our uniform for a change.
Visiting with Mark Ananasio, Yelich the runner at first, Contreras a cut and a miss, and out number 2. That's 5 strikeouts for Bubic. Mark, it had to be so satisfying. I know it's not all about awards, but you lose a head of baseball ops, a president, you lose a manager. That's a tough thing for an owner to restart at the highest levels, the top of what is in uniform with the manager and what is the baseball ops with a general manager or a president. And yet Matt Arnold and Pat Murphy both win their top awards for the year, the executive of the year and the manager of the year last year. How satisfying was that for you?
Well, and I said to media, I think I'm still a little older than Murph, but almost like a proud parent. Probably not appropriate with Murph, but those guys stepped right in, and in fact, what you saw was no change, as opposed to, oh gee, what are you going to do and how are you going to shift? The idea was that this is a very deep organization. The same way we look on the field, end up with over 50 players. We have a very deep organization in business and in baseball ops and on the field. So Murph had all the coaches stay last year. I think made a couple of adjustments this year. Love having Al LaBeouf. Did you see he got a lot of national attention.
Yeah, it's a great story.
Minors. And I think we want to show folks here that they give their heart and soul to our club, that we give them every opportunity to succeed. And just couldn't be happier about the job that Matt and Murphy done, and the way they built their staffs. Because it's not just day-to-day, game-to-game. It's everything that's going on qualitatively upstairs and in the dugout.
Hoskins, a swing and a miss. 3-2 the count. We play with 2 outs here in the 3rd.
Mark, as far as the ballpark goes, I mean, we see some work being done up there in the upper deck and in right field. I mean, what other things have you guys been thinking about changing up?
Upper deck and right field, those are not the easiest seats to sell, and our baseball ops group is bursting at the seams. So we're putting a state-of-the-art working environment for them. It'll allow them to be together, I don't know if you guys ever stopped by the draft, but you got Matt Arnold's like running around in 6 different rooms, we're on the clock, on the draft, and Todd Johnson's in one place and Matt's in another, and whoever the the area scout is in the 3rd. So we'll have everything coordinated there, and help recruit for what we think is one of the best baseball ops groups in the sport.
Is that an invitation for us to come to the draft?
I think we should go to the draft.
I mean, I'm in.
I think it's really interesting to see what goes on there, because it's very intense, actually. And what I love about our guys, it's not just intense in the first round. They're, as you get into 6th round, 7th round, 8th round, I think we got Cooper Pratt in the 6th round. I think.
2 on for Frelick, and it misses away. Most importantly is the pickleball court. Still part of the baseball operation, because they have a pretty fancy pickleball court you paid for.
They did. It was, I will say it, it was somewhat my idea. The guys, I frankly, first of all, I got a little nervous the way the pickleball courts were in Maryville, with guys slipping and sliding. And
Frelick drives one left field, got it on the barrel, but going to be run down.
We gotta get one of those torpedo bats, but that's a different.
Nice, Mark.
Anyway,
always great to be with you. Thanks
likewise,
for
guys.
spending time with us. Here's to a great season. It'll be without the voice of the Brewers, but we'll carry that legacy, and we look forward to a 2025.
You guys have certainly created a good legacy up there yourself. Thanks a lot, Brian and Rod.
Okay, Martin. Mark Ananasio. Royals lead at 4-0. We go to the 4th. MJ Melendez leads off for Kansas City. A swing and a miss as we start this 4th inning. Elvin Rodriguez back on the mound. And coming off an 8-pitch inning. Needed that. Did give up a hit to Sal Perez. But put up a 0, the first 0 of the day. Brewers were going to be happy to get 3 innings out of Rodriguez, and now hoping to stretch him into 4. If you haven't been with us today, it's a little bit of an unusual situation. You even heard Mark reference it. We do have reinforcements coming, but right now the starting pitching core is pretty beat up and pretty thin. And while Rodriguez starts the game, he was not slated to be a starting pitcher. They started to stretch him out in spring training to kind of be a long man rock, so he's in that spot start role. And
yeah, guys down in the bullpen are starting to move around a little bit. Guys starting to stretch out. You figure this might be his last inning. You know what the greatest part of that interview that we had with Mark right there, when he said that he wanted to talk with you, and you said, "I'll give you. I only have 30 minutes for you."
I'm very busy.
You get a new owner coming in. Would you have said that?
No.
Yeah.
Just the opposite.
Right. Much time as you need, sir.
Yeah.
There's no doubt who's been in charge of this organization over the years.
That's for sure. Mark Canha.
Deservedly
one
so.
foul.
Yeah. I mean, it's just very surreal to be in this ballpark on opening day without him.
Yeah, my first opening day with the Brewers, Bob Uecker was in the booth to the right. Vin Scully was in the booth to the left. Talk about not fitting in with that crowd. And they're both gone.
Two of the greats of all time.
Ball and a strike on Canha. And 2-1 now. Royals got 3 in the first. All 3 coming with 2-out hits. Massey and Renfroe added 1 in the second. 2-1. Canha out in front, right off the end of the bat. Ortiz drifts back, calls it, and makes a catch. 2 quick outs, 4 in a row, retired by Rodriguez. Well, you would imagine Rodriguez was dealing with some serious nerves and adrenaline. I mean, when he signed with the Brewers, I'm sure starting a game on the home opener was the last thing on his bingo card.
And he nearly got through that first inning. He was 1 out away. And just not able to finish it off.
He's pitched in big moments. I mean, you pitch in Japan, you see how popular baseball is in Japan. And to pitch for that team, the Yakult Swallows, they draw well, a lot of intense games. So he's been through that before. But it's only his 6th ever start in the major leagues and only his 9th game in his career in the majors. 2 seasons he got big league time for Detroit in 2022, and then the next year with the Tampa Bay Rays. But minimal activity. Dominican Republic native.
He's got a good arm. All of a sudden landing his off-speed stuff.
3-1 to count. Garcia takes ball 4. 2-out base runner, and back to the top of the order. Game reset brought to you by Spectrum. Renfroe, the former Brewer, with a 2 RBI single to cap off that 3-run first, and then Garcia, who just walked, hammered one off the batter's eye in center field. His 2nd home run of the year. 3rd time around now. India takes a ball.
Boy, that's a tight zone, man. You know, as a pitch to Garcia, that could have been a strike. That one could have been a strike.
India skies one into left center field. Mitchell calls it, and another scoreless inning for Elvin Rodriguez. Settling in here is Rodriguez. Brewers down 4-0. Capra, Mitchell, and Ortiz due up. 4-0 Kansas City. American military personnel serving overseas are watching this game on AFN, the American Forces Network. We welcome all of those in countries around the world aboard naval ships at sea. And as always, we thank you very much for your service. Brewers and Royals, first of a 3-game series from American Family Field. Kansas City, a playoff team last year. They lost to the Yankees in the division series, lost in 4. Yankees went on to the World Series, losing to the Dodgers.
Big improvement from 2023 to 2024 for Kansas City. Was it a 30-game improvement?
Yeah. They had 3 100-loss seasons since their last World Series. Kansas City, you saw Brian Hudson down in the bullpen for the Brewers. Vinny Capra leads off this 4th. Royals are trying to get a downtown ballpark built, and part of that process is to invest in the team and try to get back to winning ways. This is a team that just could not find their way into the winner's circle after those back-to-back World Series and a World Series title. And so they did that last year. Impressive turnaround. They had 3 100-loss seasons and a 97-loss season.
Yeah.
And then an 86-win year last year in their first postseason since 2015. They made some trades. They added to their bullpen. As Capra swing and a miss, Bubic strikes out his 6th, 1 away in the 4th. That'll give us a chance to hear a quick word from Gruber Law Offices.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Call Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Here's Garrett Mitchell. 1 away in the 4th. Brewers have had some traffic the last 2 innings. Stranded them loaded in the 2nd, left 2 on last inning. Chris Bubic slings one in, and a strike to Mitchell. 1-1 the count.
Yeah, a lot of lefties that the Brewers have been facing early on this year. Very heavy left-handed they are in the lineup. 4 of them today. They've got 2 more on the bench. That's where the loss of Blake Perkins hurts you a little bit.
Back doing baseball activities, Perkins. Switch hitter, talented.
Fracture in his leg.
Outfielder, yeah, early in spring. Brewers have Caleb Durbin and Andrew Monasterio down in the minor leagues right now. Durbin homered the other day, by the way. He was the kid the Brewers got in the trade with the Yankees.
Yeah, Brewers really like Durbin, but he had options. That's why he got sent down.
And options in baseball terms means you can send players from the majors to the minors as many times as you want, as long as that player is at the level in his experience that has options. For example, Vinny Capra does not. So if you tried to send him back to the minors, you'd have to expose him to every other team. It's a protection for the players.
Right.
To go so many years you run out of options is the phrase.
And Durbin was in that Devin Williams deal.
And that's why it is a key window of time here for that guy. Vinny Capra hoping to take advantage of it. Swing and a miss. Bubic strikes out Mitchell. And back-to-back Ks. 7 strikeouts now for Bubic.
Something about that delivery. He's hiding the baseball well, because that pitch pretty much down the middle, looks like a cutter. Swings right through it.
Two gone. Here is Joey Ortiz.
You see the way he throws that arm behind his back before he comes to home plate. And making it a little bit difficult, I guess, for these Brewer hitters to pick it up. But he's not throwing hard and getting a lot of the plate, and he's getting swings and misses.
He was great out of the bullpen last year for the Royals, Bubic. It's a funky delivery. Tommy John surgery, came back, had some time on the injured list last year coming back from that surgery, and he went into the bullpen. He was excellent for them. His strikeout to walk ratio in the bullpen after he returned to the big leagues was nearly 8-1. Ortiz pops it up, and this is going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Chris Bubic. 7 Ks through 4, has a 0 on the board, and the Royals lead it 4-0. In comes Brian Hudson from Milwaukee. Baseball on FanDuel Sports Network is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Your win is waiting. By Habish, Habish & Rotier, personal injury attorneys, national reputation, hometown service. And opening week presented by PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. New alley down the left field line, food truck alley. Some of the changes and amenities here at American Family Field.
Something for everybody to eat and drink in this ballpark. Lowe's level down the right field line, the craft beer area.
Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all, call to the pen. Brian Hudson takes over for Elvin Rodriguez. Rodriguez 4 innings, 4 runs. Last 2 scoreless, though, needed that. And did that hit him? It did it. Bobby Witt's looking back. And it is, waiting on the bad boy. So a hit batter to start Brian Hudson's home schedule.
Yeah, it looked like a breaking pitch that got away from him. It's got him on the instep. That's not going to hurt him too bad. Maybe it'll slow him down on the bases a bit.
I doubt it. Rodriguez checking his day today. Settled in. Only gave up 2 hits the last 3 innings. One of those was a homer, but you got to give him a pass. Being thrust into not only a spot start, but a start on the home opener. That is a lot to deal with. And he was able to give the Brewers 4 innings when they were hoping for 3.
Yep, that infield hit by Bobby Witt Jr. in that first inning didn't help. A little swinging bunt.
Now hoping his offense can take him off the hook here.
Yeah, Hudson with a terrific season a year ago. 173 earned run average, 43 appearances. A 6-1 record. Made his season debut on opening day at Yankee Stadium. Scoreless appearance.
Hudson delivers, and that one misses. Oh, it looked like a pretty good pitch.
We've seen a lot of those. A lot of really good pitches being called out of the strike zone today.
1 ball, 1 strike to count. Brennan Miller is the home plate umpire. 2-1.
I just wonder, when you see pitches like that being called strikes, if baseball has mandated that these umpires make these guys throw the ball over the plate. There's been about 3 or 4 of those that have been called balls.
3-1 to count. Hudson, a big part of the very successful Brewers bullpen a year ago. Tall, rangy left-hander. And right off the end of the bat. It feels like a nightmare for left-handed hitters, Rock. There's not a lot to zero in on. A lot of elbows and knees, and tough to pick up where the ball is coming out of his hand.
Yeah, tough arm angle too. He's big and tall. By the time he gets rid of it, he's pretty close to home plate. Those long strides.
He was a workhorse in the first half last year. Multi-inning pitcher often. 15 times a year ago he pitched at least 2 innings, and that's actually when he was at his best. In his multi-inning outings, his ERA was 0.28. He gave up just 1 earned run in over 30 innings. And a punch out here on Pasquantino.
There you go. Got the edge that time. Right on the outside corner. Good pitch. See that arm angle for a lefty. It looks like the ball's coming right from behind him. Able to catch the outside corner.
1 away, runner at first. Here is Salvador Perez. 9-time All-Star. Going to go down as one of the great Royals. Runner goes, Witt, and Contreras lost the exchange. That'll be a stolen base for Bobby Witt.
Yeah, not sure if he had a chance to get him anyway. Read his move pretty well. He saw a move or two. Picks that leg up. He takes off. That high leg kick's a giveaway.
Second stolen base of the year for Witt.
That's what happens. The catcher tries to be too quick because of the good jump and drops it.
Witt stole 31 bases last year. Had 49 steals the year prior. Now in his 4th season in the majors. Breakout year last year for Bobby Witt. Won the Gold Glove. Finished 2nd in the MVP voting. Aaron Judge ran away with the MVP. Silver Slugger Award winner as well. And Perez draws a walk. So a hit batter, a strikeout, and a walk. And 2 men are on with 1 out. And here comes Chris Hook. That'll give us a chance to hear a quick message from Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Brewers in the danger zone right now, down 4-0. Can ill afford to give up any more. And Chris Hook talking with Brian Hudson about a shaky start here. Command's just a little off.
He's had some control issues at Yankee Stadium. Walked a couple of guys.
Did have a strikeout in that inning. Pitched a scoreless 6th inning on opening day, Thursday. Had his first outing since. He's got a lefty here in Michael Massey. Matt Contreras splitting his lefties through this part of the batting order. Goes left, right, left, right, left. From positions 2 down to 7. Which makes this the window for Brian Hudson. A ball, no strikes, 2 men aboard.
There seems to be something a little bit off of his delivery. The first couple of appearances this year. He was a strike throwing machine a year ago.
Got a call there. 2-1. Hudson not necessarily a ground ball pitcher. Only 2 double plays induced last season. But he could use one right here with Massey. Massey's got some thump in his bat. As we saw with that opposite field double, that ground rule double over the head of Yelich. Plated the first run in the first inning.
Yeah, let's see if we can get him to roll over on one. Turn 2. He likes to go to left. He's done it twice today.
Three and 1. Massey takes a strike. Generous call in there as well. Hunter Renfroe due next. Hudson's thrown 18 pitches. Royals have swung the bat once. They swing it here, and it's a foul ball. Count is full. Got him. Hudson burns off the edge. A strikeout, his second K, and a big one there. 2 outs in the 5th.
Yeah, the strike zone opened up a little bit that time. Second time he was able to dot the I on the outside corner. You can see the way Contreras holds it, make it look even better. And Brendan Miller, the home plate umpire, rings him up.
Watch the first one here with Hunter Renfroe. Renfroe has dropped about 20 pounds from his Brewers days. Renfroe in his second year. He's at the end of his contract with Kansas City. Witt takes off, and Contreras lets him run. He got a huge jump. 2 steals this inning for Bobby Witt Jr.
Yeah, Contreras was hoping that Perez would take off behind him. That's where he was going to throw the baseball. Nothing doing. Perez stayed right there. Go ahead, I'm staying here.
First and third, and in there for a strike. 2-1 the count. Renfroe in his 10th year in the big leagues. His year in Milwaukee was 2022. Had 29 homers that year as a Brewer. 3-1, half swing, and Elaski did not. And it's a walk, and now another left-handed batter coming up.
Looks like Hudson's really trying to work the edges, and when he's not right on those edges, he's going to miss off the plate. Doesn't want to get too much of the plate. A couple of walks in the inning. Already 4 walks for Hudson in his first 2 appearances.
2 walks and a hit batter this inning. But he does have the matchup he wants with a lefty. Dangerous moment in the game for Milwaukee here. Bases loaded, 2 outs. MJ Melendez, who has struck out twice. The 1-0 in there. Good pitch. Biggest hole in the Royals roster right now is their outfielders. They were aggressive on the free agent market, but they couldn't land a couple of the big free agents that were out there, namely Anthony Santander ended up signing with Toronto.
Yeah, Profar was on their radar screen, couldn't get him either.
They have prospects coming, but not quite ready. Swing and a miss. Hudson with a fastball. Puts it right on the outside corner again. There's only been 3 swings by the Royals off Hudson in his 29 pitches. Bases loaded, 2 outs. 2-2 the count. Could be the pitch of the game right here. Hudson deals, popped him up. Nicely done. Contreras will put it away, and that's the inning. Hudson flirting with disaster. A hit batter and 2 more walks. He strands them loaded. It's still 4-0 Kansas City. Royals lead 4-0 as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Brock, you know how we were talking about contact percentage this offseason?
Yep.
When we had our weekly calls? It's brought to you by PNC Bank, and there's Bryce Terang. Highest contact percentage since 2024. He is top 4 on that list. Serious batsman on that list, and a rise batting champion, and Nico Horner and Alex Bregman.
Was that conference call on Christmas Eve?
Every Monday, Rock
we
and
were
I
talking about contact percentage.
Get together on in the off season just to go through some of the deeper analytics,
just to make sure that we're on the same page and all this stuff.
I always look forward to those. We're grinders. Grinders grind.
Yeah.
The 1-1. 1-2 the count. Bubic thus far, he's been in a little bit of trouble, but pitched out of it. Stranded the bases loaded in the 2nd. Brewers had 2 on with 2 outs in the 3rd and got out of that inning.
He's used a strikeout to get out of the mess. 7 of them.
Here's a 1-2 to Terang, and a little soft liner down. Contact percentage. Mark it down. Terang with a leadoff single.
And leadoff hitter aboard for the first time for Milwaukee. Who cares about exit velocity?
Contact percentage, Rob.
How many hits? Right off the end of the bat, he's able to stay on it. That was a breaking pitch. Nice level swing. Not over swinging, and you have really good speed on the bases.
Brewers need to pop one here. Get this crowd going. Top of the order. Here's Jackson Churio. Big swing by Churio.
Churio's had some good pitches to hit today. Just seems to be swinging right through him.
You do wonder with Churio. Just turned 21. Trying to answer what was a brilliant rookie season. 21 homers, 79 RBIs. And he comes into this year with heavy expectations. He finished third in the Rookie of the Year voting last year. First rookie in franchise history to produce a 2020 season. Had 22 steals with those 21 homers. And he was clutch as well, and delivered in the postseason. Home run Powerball leaderboard. The three that had the 20 homer seasons in Hoskins, Contreras, and Churio.
And it did a lot to make up with the loss of Christian Yelich in the second half.
And Churio is down again. 3 strikeouts today for Churio. After a 5 strikeout opening day last Thursday in New York.
But he came back on Saturday after that game and had a couple of hits. Again, he's had some pitches to hit, some fastballs that have gotten plenty of the plate, but they're just coming up empty.
Here is Yelich now. Terang at first. One of the issues the Brewers are having right now with their struggles on the mound to start games and getting down, giving up these huge multi-run innings early, it takes you out of what makes the Brewers successful.
The running game.
Their aggressive nature on the base paths, the ability to put different plays on with speed on the bases, to go first to third, to take those chances and put the pressure on the defense.
Yeah. When you're down 4-0 in the 5th, you don't be making outs on the bases. Can't take the risk.
Got to play a different style of baseball. You need more of what the Brewers were famous for a number of years, and that's hitting the long ball. Not necessarily what they do. But the long ball is how you fight your way into games like this. The 1-1. That's a foul tip. And it'll be strike 2, 1-2 the count.
It's got to be that Bubic is really hiding the baseball pretty well. I mean, we don't see a whole lot of him, but the way the Brewers are really having a difficult time with a fairly straight fastball that's pretty much down the middle, and leads you to believe that he's hiding it. The Brewers aren't picking it up.
1-2 to Yelich. Fly ball lazy into left, and Melendez is there for out number 2. Back to first goes Terang after that leadoff single. Elvis Peguero will be the next hurler after Brian Hudson puts up a 0.
Elvis is off to a good start.
Here's Contreras. 0 for 2, 2 Ks against Bubic. Broken bat. Recovers. And the inning is over. And a leadoff single goes for naught. Bubic 5 scoreless innings with 8 punch-outs. He's on his game. Brewers trail 4-0. And here comes Elvis. Milwaukee Brewers baseball on FanDuel Sports Network is presented by Northwestern Mutual. Batter up to a better way to money today at northwesternmutual.com. And by your Wisconsin Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. Sellout opening day here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Brewers 0-3 on the season after getting swept in New York and down 4-0 to Kansas City. As we go to the 6th inning, and Rock, it'll be Elvis Peguero with his home debut.
Yeah, sinker slider for Elvis. Gets a lot of ground balls. He can keep the ball in the ballpark. Only 4 allowed a year ago. Earned run average under 3 last year. Elvis made his season debut on Saturday against the Yankees. Tossed 2 scoreless innings. Actually gave up 2 runs, no earned runs for Peguero in that appearance.
He'll face Mark Canha, and then Michael Garcia down at the bottom of the order, then back to the top, and Jonathan India. Mark Canha's 0 for 2, couple of pop-ups, getting to start at first today. Canha will probably see more time in the outfield than first base. Vinny Pasquantino, dealing with a tight hamstring, will be the everyday first baseman.
Canha spent almost the entire spring with the Brewers in spring training. Got traded right at the end.
Royals were hunting for a veteran right-handed bat, and Canha really wasn't going to have a spot with the Brewers. That first base DH window for Kansas City between Perez and Pasquantino, won't be many at-bats in that spot. Kansas City has an excellent pitching staff.
Yeah, their bullpen is good. They got off to a bit of a slow start a year ago, but as the season went on, got better. They added to that bullpen.
They signed Carlos Estevez, who was a dominant closer with the Angels. He was then traded to Philadelphia, signed as a free agent with the Royals. So they've added a major weapon in the back of the bullpen. Signed him to a 2-year, $22 million deal to close it out. Remember Lucas Erceg, former position player with the Brewers, now one of the premium relievers in the game. He'll be in a setup role. He did a nice job closing games at times as well for Kansas City, as Canha hit by a pitch. That happens a lot. Canha is aboard.
Yeah, doesn't give an inch. That breaking ball that didn't break. Slider. A cement mixer got him on the back of the elbow. That's our first cement mixer of the year.
Never gets old.
You get it, right?
I actually saw a cement mixer driving to the ballpark today and immediately thought of you.
Were you behind it?
I was. Said, you know, that does look like one of those backup breaking balls.
Yeah, it does a lot of spinning, but it doesn't move.
Brock's right. What? Michael Garcia homered in the 2nd inning. PNC Bank slow moment.
2-1 pitch.
No doubt.
Right down the middle.
Banged it off the batter's eye. Made it 4-0 Kansas City. Garcia with his 2nd home run in his first ever start as a center fielder. Now Cotrero is out with Brennan Miller, and are we questioning the count? I'm not sure. It's 1-1.
Yeah,
pitch clock.
Count is right.
Has to be a pitch clock situation, I think.
Something about a timeout if you can read some lips. I'm not very good at it, but I did get that.
Garcia was complaining that Elvis Peguero was not making eye contact. Alert to the batter, they call it. Crew chief Chris Conroy coming down from first base. And now the umpires will gather and talk it over here. He's trying to read lips there.
Yeah.
Brennan Miller said when the batter stepped out of the box, pitch clock was getting late, then I couldn't follow the rest of that. But I think this has to do with whether to assign a strike or a ball, which affects the count.
Early on, I guess I read some lips that seemed as though they were talking about timeout. You do get one timeout.
All right, now the crew chief will give the explanation to Q, the Royals manager. I have implemented a public address system with the umpires. This will be a great opportunity to get on the PA and explain this. So yeah, he gave him. Did he give him the timeout, or did he pin a strike on him?
Well, he stepped out.
Question. You remember, batters only get one timeout. So if you step out and you're given a timeout and he didn't want it, he's thinking it's going to be a pitch clock violation,
which is a strike.
I don't think we're going to get an explanation here, though. But this would be the perfect time to just pop on the mic real quick and explain it.
Right.
But that'll be another day. So we'll just be left to guess, and the count is 1-1. And I believe Garcia has used his timeout.
Yeah, no strike was called.
We can only be left to assume, and you know what happens when you assume.
Yeah, baseball's got to do a better job of explaining things like that, particularly something that takes that long to figure out.
Yeah, it would be a quick announcement, and that process is in place. They're gonna get to that point eventually. Umpires have agreed to start to do that, and
every other sport's doing it.
We just want to get it right instead of guessing. We gave you our best effort, though. Feels like a good hypothesis. What happened?
A lot of pontificating.
2-2 the count. And popped him up. Should stay playable. Over is Terang, and he's got it. First out of the inning. Timeouts used to be used liberally. Used to take as many as you needed, but they're gold right now for hitters. You only get one.
Yeah.
So a lot of hitters wait to use them until they get to 2 strikes. So you can understand how it would kind of change the at-bat for Garcia if he knew he didn't have a timeout. There's a strike to India.
A lot to think about.
Some batters I've talked to hitters about this. They said, you know, we'll just shut off the brain knowing we're going to use that timeout just to give a mental reset. I can understand that too. Knowing we're going to call it or ask for it. And when you have just one, you've got to use them judiciously.
India just took one.
That's his one timeout. Most guys do it with 2 strikes. Collect your thoughts. The 0-2 pitch. 1-2 now.
Yeah, when after with the same pitch, this time India took it.
Liner to left, a base hit. India's got another hit. Both have come with 2 strikes. And now the Royals with first and second, 1 out.
4
their big boys coming up.
Yeah, 4 straight sliders. That time India was able to zero in on it, hit it hard. Didn't have a whole lot of break on it. It looked as though India was waiting for it and able to hook it into left field.
That's a good piece of hitting there, isn't it?
Yeah.
The way he just drops, bends the knees, and drops his whole body into the swing plane.
Levels that swing out.
got 2 hits today. India, their new leadoff hitter. Another mound visit for Chris Hook. Gives us a chance to hear a quick word from Aurora Healthcare.
This is how it feels to have a complete health partner who cares for all of you, so you can live powerfully, live joyfully, and live fully.
Again, the Brewers walking a tightrope here, knowing they cannot allow any more runs if they have any hopes of coming back. Royals scored all 4 of their runs in the first 2 innings. But the danger zone has arrived again. Bobby Witt Jr. Pasquantino is next. Almost impossible to double up this guy. He can fly. He's got an infield hit. He was hit by a pitch and stole 2 bases. And a swing and a miss.
Another slider. And that 2-seamer, that's his ground ball pitch. That's the pitch he uses to get the double play. But as you mentioned, this guy's tough to double up.
Left field shallow off the end of the bat, and Yelich is there. Big out for Peguero. Out number 2 here in the 6th inning.
That was 5 straight sliders.
Seems like that would be taxing on the elbow, but early in the season, let it rip. Now Pasquantino 0 for 3. Canna and India aboard. Pasquantino has become a fan favorite. They've got the Pasquatch in Kansas City. Big part of their future. Liner center field. Mitchell on the run. He's got it. And Elvis Peguero gets out of it. 2 big bats to retire with 2 on. Royals still lead 4-0. See if the Brewers can punch one across the pay station.
Brewers home opener, Milwaukee trailing 4-0 here in the 6th inning, and Milwaukee Brewers players are committed to the community. The goal is 100% player giving in areas such as health, education, recreation, and basic needs. The partnership with BCF and our fans serves as a catalyst for good.
Thank you, Sophia. Here we go to inning number 6, bottom of the 6th. Rhys Hoskins, Sal Frelick, Vinny Capra. Sounds like a rally. Chris Bubic has been excellent today. Brewers in their home opener in front of a sellout crowd.
It's been two pitches, right? I mean, fastball, sweeper.
8 Ks in 5 innings. Gave up a leadoff single last inning to Terang and then retired the next 3. He's retired 7 of 8. And Bobby Witt Jr. makes the play to make it 8 of 9. Hoskins is 0 for 2 with a walk. Soft contact has been the story.
Staying off the barrel, right? That's the idea. That's what pitchers try to accomplish.
Activity in that Kansas City bullpen. Pitch count's in pretty good shape though for Bubic at 86 as he works here in the 6th.
Could be his last inning. Bullpen for Kansas City has been good.
Average exit velocity today for the Brewers on Bubic, 76 miles an hour from the desk of Dom Cotroneo to give you an idea of the weak contact. He is avoiding the barrel of the bat. It's the name of the game on the mound.
Dom's looking good today. He's got the sport coat on.
Suited up.
Got the tie. He got the memo. Got a knot up on opening day.
Rocking his Allen Edmonds fancy shoes.
The Brewer shoes. I mean,
by the way, did you catch Dom's Brewers TV debut? He did the minor league. What was the name of the game? Spring breakout game. That's it. I was going to say Rising Stars, but that's another sport.
We did the regular game. We did the regular game that day.
Yeah.
On FanDuel, then Dom took over.
Dom took over and killed it. It was amazing. Frelick pops up. He's not just a pretty face, Rock. You know, he's a accomplished play-by-play man. Even though he's taking all those angry phone calls after every game, fighting off the masses.
Yeah, I know.
He went on a little rant the other day. Did you hear that one?
I did not hear. No.
I think it was day 2 and Dom snapped.
I was in New York. I didn't
snap
catch
quick. It's okay.
I didn't get the app.
There's only so much you can endure, you know. Be careful. You better come with facts when you're dealing with Dom Cotroneo.
He will yell at you.
What a great crew. Renee's back this year 29 for Renee. She was 6 years old when she started this job. I didn't even think they let him work that young, but
she got a work permit. Yeah. This group has been together a long time. Yeah. I mean, this TV crew. Yeah.
And you're our leader, our Yoda, Bill Schroeder.
You let me think that every now and again.
31 years. Who'd have thunk it?
There are folks that have worked on this crew a lot longer than that.
It's true. Got a great crew.
Yeah.
Lifers. There's Andy.
36 years for Andy.
36. Man. You don't look a day over 70. There's Dwayne.
1980, his first year.
Is that right? 1980?
Yeah.
Shot back up the middle. Takes a big hop right to Massey. Close play, but Bubic retires the side in order. That'll probably be the last of Bubic. 6 shutout innings. Impressive first start. 4-0 Kansas City as we go to the 7th. Toyota game reset. Royals come out of the gates, ruin the party quick. Hunter Renfroe with a 2 RBI single, capped off a 3-run first. Chris Bubic has been excellent. 6 scoreless innings against the Brew Crew. Just finished a 3-up, 3-down, 6 innings. And Brian Sweeney, one of the great young pitching coaches in the game. Pitching coach with the Royals. And a lot to like with his Royals pitching staff. They've added to it. Perez takes a ball. Ball and a strike on Big Sal. Elvis Peguero back out for a 2nd inning, trying to keep it at 4. Perez has had an amazing run of defensive excellence aside of what he does at the plate. Won 5 Gold Gloves. His last Gold Glove came in 2018. That was that all-star run he had. At age 31, though, a few years back, he hit 48 homers. Everybody thought he was kind of winding down. He missed all of 2019, had a major knee surgery. And you're just thinking, well, big body, all those years catching, had been to the World Series a couple of times. And I think a lot of us were writing him off about what kind of player he could be, and then he responded with a 48 homer, 121 RBI season.
Yeah, which is not easy in their ballpark. That's a big ballpark. I mean, you got to hit him pretty well.
He led the majors in both categories that year, and so since then, Rock, he's hit 23 homers twice, and he hit 27 last year, drove in over 100.
This is his 14th season.
Drives out into left. That is hooking. That is going to be a fair ball home run. First of the year for Sal Perez. And it's 5-0 Kansas City. The man can flat out hit.
Man got a fastball in on him, pulled the hands in, and just was able to tuck it inside the foul pole. Man, that was a slider, actually. My mistake, not a fastball. Pulled the hands in, stayed close to the body, the barrel of the bat on the baseball, and he's done that a few times. That's how you keep it fair.
Good hands replay brought to you by Allstate.
Hands lead the barrel of the bat. That's how you keep it fair and not hook it foul.
Former World Series MVP right there. And a soft liner to right is down for Massey, his 2nd hit. Pat Murphy and Chris Hook in the unenviable position to try to count outs in innings and try to get through games without putting so much pressure on their offense. That just has not been the case in the last 4 games.
And it's awfully hard to be playing from behind every day. Every at bat, hitters are feeling a lot more pressure. They're down 3-0 in the first inning, and it makes it tough.
Brewers gave up 36 runs in the 3-game series in New York. A 20 spot on Friday or Saturday, I beg your pardon, and then 12 more runs yesterday. Tough start to the year. Aaron Savali, who started yesterday, Savali placed on the injured list, as Sophia reported prior to the game, hamstring tightness. So the ranks were thin, and they just got thinner. Brendan Miller catching it from the Brewers dugout, and now he ejects Ricky Weeks. Ricky Weeks has seen enough.
Now this is all about the strike zone. We were talking about it most of the day. Very tight at times, liberal at other times, and Hey, Ricky showing some of the frustration in that dugout.
Weeks ejected. Ricky Weeks, one of the fiercest competitors that's ever put on that uniform, but he rarely loses control. He rarely speaks out like that. So to hit that trigger, I think it was the way Miller snatched that mask off and was telling him to quiet down. That's all it took. And now Weeks ejected from this game.
Check it out. This is the pitcher talking about. We've seen a lot of those today. Very close on a 2-strike pitch, and that's it. Umpire's always going to win.
Fly ball to center field, and Renfroe to Mitchell for the first out.
Sometimes a coach has got to do something to fire the guys up. I think that's what that was all about.
Grant Anderson just added to the roster today. He took the spot of Savali, loosening in the bullpen. Ricky Weeks serving as what we would know of as the bench coach for years in baseball. That was a newer title, though, one we haven't heard, associate manager.
Yeah.
And you see that in other sports, especially basketball.
Pretty much
associate head coaches.
Pretty much as soon as Pat Murphy got the job. I think they were announced at the same time.
By request of Pat Murphy. So he wanted a guy like Ricky Weeks on his staff. He looked at his staff and a lot of grinder coaches, overachievers. He said, I need somebody who's been a star, been an all-star, knows what being a frontline player is like and how to help navigate the game from that perspective as well.
And
it's been a great addition.
The guy that's tough as nails, not just physically, but mentally as well.
Line shot, base hit. Melendez singles back up the middle. Station to station go the Royals. And it's first and second here in the 7th.
Another
there are 2 outs.
Double-digit attack against the Brewer pitching staff today.
Beg your pardon, 1 out. And now Mark Canha. Yeah, 10 hits for the Royals. Pitching staff has taken a beating to start the year. Canha 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch his last time. Two and 0. That's a strike. Cardinals out to a fast start in the division. They've won their first 3 games. They've been scoring a lot of runs as well. We've got the Angels today at home. Reds 1 and 2. Cubs dropped the first 2 in Japan against the Dodgers. So they've already played 6 games. They're 2 and 4 to start the year. Pirates 1 and 3. Brewers still looking for their first win. And Canha draws a walk. Bases are loaded. And Pat Murphy's on his way out. Pitching change coming. Figueroa, who posted a scoreless 6th, Early in the season, got to mind that pitch count, and Murphy going to the bullpen earlier than he wants for Peguero.
Hey, shoot up this season at MLBshop.com. Check out the largest selection of authentic jerseys, caps, hoodies, t-shirts, and more. Visit MLBshop.com, the official source for your Brewers gear.
Brewers digging deep in their bullpen right now. It's 5-0 Kansas City. Grant Anderson, who pitched just one game in AAA on the 28th of March, is now in the big leagues. Just got here on a transaction. Brewers put Aaron Savali on the injured list, and Anderson steps into a hot spot with the bases loaded and one out. Michael Garcia, who is homered today, you know he's looking to do some damage.
Fastball, sinker, slider for Grant Anderson. Called up today. 6 different times he was with the Texas Rangers last year. Up and down a ton.
He's with the Mariners in spring training a year ago. And he parlayed that into a run to the big leagues. Never a prospect, side armor. Got a twin brother. Anderson in a 3-1 hitters count, and that is ball 4, and it's a bases loaded walk. Royals are going to add one more. 6-0. Tough spot for Anderson to come into. Get called back up faster than you thought you would. And now you step into a spot with the bases loaded in the home opener.
Yeah.
And the Brewers they're in a bad spot with their pitching staff right now. Top of the order here is India.
And not much Pat Murphy can do about it.
Liner to left, base hit. One run is in. Melendez. Canna on his way, will score. And the Royals have opened it up. 8-0 now. India 2 RBI single. His 3rd hit of the day.
Yep, slider. Looked like they didn't do a whole lot. Jammed him a bit, but able to elevate it into left, and 2 runs in.
Here's Bobby Witt Jr. You may get 1 or 2 games a month, like what we've seen in 3 of the first 4 games of the season.
Yeah.
ERA busters. One and 2.
They just got to grind it out. It's going to end at some point.
Well, the good news is there's a long season ahead.
Yep, game 4 of 162.
And reinforcements coming.
A lot of a lot of time to recover.
Base hit to right. Bobby Witt Jr. with an RBI single. And another run is in to make it 9-0. Two-strike RBI hit for Witt. It's his second hit. He's got 2 steals today as well. Kansas City has come on and taken the life out of American Family Field.
A lot of crooked numbers on the Brewers pitching staff this year. A lot of innings with crooked numbers.
Pasquantino pulls one foul. Royals have Michael Lorenzen scheduled to pitch tomorrow. The Brewers are going to be back in a bullpen game tomorrow. Could see an opener tomorrow. Already fighting the uphill battle with innings and rest and trying to figure out how to get through games right now with so many pitchers out.
And Trevor McGill's only been able to come into a game once and retired 1 batter against the Yankees. That was yesterday. So your 8 bullpen really hasn't been much of a factor because they've been behind so much. Except for the game in New York on Thursday.
Brewers will have an off day after the conclusion of this homestand to give them a quick reset. That'll be prior to the Rockies series. They go on the road against Colorado on April 8th. They'll have the Royals and Reds here on this opening homestand. Takes you through Sunday. Next homestand for the Brewers will be April 14th. Tigers and the A's. A lot of American League teams on the schedule early. Ground ball knocked down. Nice play. Hoskins throws to the plate, off the mark. Run is in. On his way to third now is Witt, and he's in there. So a run scores. Hoskins makes an excellent play.
Yeah, heck of a play, but an ill-advised throw.
It'll be an E3 that allowed Witt to go to third base.
Yeah, good reflexes by Rhys Hoskins. Bad throw. No chance really for Contreras. And not only does another run score, it's 10-0. Runner is able to get to third base.
Run was going to score anyway, it looked like. And now Sal Perez center field and run down to end the inning. It was a mess though. Royals bat around and put a 6 spot on the board. It's 10-0 Kansas City. Now enjoy American Family Field's presentation of God Bless America on this opening day.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please stand for God Bless America, performed today by Allison Mahal and Van Isaacson.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside him and guide him through the night with light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Well, that one is a mess. 10-0. Royals just put 6 on the board. StatCast powered by Google Cloud. And Bubic with his 8 strikeouts today. 4 with the fastball, 3 with the sweeper. Had the one with a slider, but living upstairs in the strike zone. And he pitched to Jim today. His offense gave him a lot of support. He went 6 scoreless. And it'll be Angel Serpa out of the Kansas City bullpen, Rock.
Yeah, gave up a home run on opening day against the Cleveland Guardians. Yeah, set career highs last year in games, innings pitched, and strikeouts. Pitched in 5 of the 6 postseason games for Kansas City a year ago.
Isaac Collins getting a pinch hit appearance for Milwaukee.
You saw where those pitches were for the strikeouts for Bubic. Every one of them in the zone.
Right. Upstairs in the zone, too.
Getting a lot of the plate. Something about that delivery.
Serpa has a good fastball. It's got movement, too. Mid to upper 90s with sink to it. Slider misses low. Collins hits for Garrett Mitchell. First at bat of the day for Collins. And the Brewers dealing with another lopsided game here. Line shot into left field. That's going to go to the wall. Isaac Collins on his way to second with a pinch hit double.
Man, that's some nice loud contact. We haven't seen that much today. They get Bubic out of the game, you get the bullpen going, and Isaac Collins able to rattle one off the wall down there in left. A bullet. Boy, pulled the hands in and able to keep that ball fair down the line in left, and a leadoff double. Give him something to think about.
Third game for Collins, all coming off the bench. He's on an opening day roster for the first time in his career, and he's got his first hit. Joey Ortiz now, infield hit back in the second. He's 1 for 2. Brewers thought they got a good piece in the Corbin Burns deal. They weren't quite sure what kind of hitter Ortiz would be. They knew they were getting a great defender. And you remember this time last year, Ortiz was in a bit of a platoon role. Third base hadn't been settled yet. But by the end of the season, Joey Ortiz was the everyday third baseman. Takes a called strike 3. And there is out number 1. Serpa's first K.
Yeah, right on the corner.
Brings up Terang, and a tough matchup for a left-handed hitter. Tough shadows right now as the sun sets through that window panel up above the first base grandstand. 0-2 on Terang. Can be a challenge for a hitter right now. It's like a strobe effect coming in.
That batter's eye in the shade. The ball comes out of the shade into the sun.
Night game tomorrow. First night game.
I think everybody's excited about a night game.
And then an afternoon affair on Wednesday. That's a noon airtime. 12:10 first pitch. 11:30 is airtime here on FanDuel Sports Network. And then the Reds are here Thursday. 3 night games in that series. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. A day game for the getaway day. Sunday. Are you one of those guys who like pours through the schedule and looks at the inflection points and
tough stretches in the schedule, long road trips?
It's so dependent on what the health of your team is at that time, and the Brewers start the season with all this anticipation and a division championship to defend, and they're probably at their worst right now from a health perspective with the pitching staff.
Yeah. Position players are relatively healthy.
That hit the shin of Serpa. That hurt him. And Terang is out. Nice play by Massey. Hung in there with it. Made a good strong throw. Brewers will take a look at this replay just in case.
Yeah, tough break.
And Serpa is hurting on the back of that mound. Put out officially goes 1-4-3. Ortiz over to third. I beg your pardon. Collins over to third base.
A good example of what Bryce Terang, the adjustments he's been able to make from 2 years ago against lefties. That one got him right on the calf, just above that ankle. Ricochet able to get him at first base. But he really hangs in there against lefties.
I usually say hit the bull.
They really got to be careful with these leg injuries. The guy's going to make adjustments to his delivery, and all of a sudden your arm starts to bother you. They're going to stick with him.
Has done enough to prove he could stay. I'm sure that first one that went to the backstop wasn't the most encouraging.
He probably said, hey, let me throw one more.
And how many people around here said just a bit outside?
Yeah, right. Yes, sir.
Here's Churio. Been one of those days for Churio. 0 for 3, 3 Ks. The 0-1. Good block back there by Sal. Powder Blues are back, Rock.
Yeah, love them.
I've started to see, you know, it started with just powder blue jersey tops. I think the Royals were the first to do that. In the next wave of the powder blues, Rangers went to the powder blue unis. That ball's driven to right center, and it's over the head of Garcia. To the wall it goes. RBI double for Churio. And the Brewers are finally on the board.
Yep, skunk out of the box here in the 7th. Doing what he does best, taking it to the opposite field. Looked like a changeup, right? Changeup, up and away, goes right with it. That play brought to you by Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin. A RBI double by the kid, Jackson Churio.
Barreled it. And now it's Yelich. Brewers finally score their first run at American Family Field in 2025. And who else would drive in that run but Churio? You've got the Robin Yount version of the kid, and now you have the Jackson Churio version. They both apply. Saw Daniel Lynch in that Kansas City bullpen. Chopper by Yelich. And that will retire the side. But the Brewers finally get on the board. A little something to cheer about in an otherwise forgettable day here at American Family Field. We go to the 8th. Ten to 1 Kansas City as we go to the 8th for every Brewers RBI this year. The Northwestern Mutual Foundation is funding 5 hours of childhood cancer research. Northwestern Mutual and the Milwaukee Brewers are proud to partner in curing childhood cancer. Churio puts them on the board for the first time. Here is Tyler Tolbert with his major league debut, just called up today. Drove all night to get here. The changes for the Brewers. Collins, after his base hit, stays in to play right, moves Frelick over to center field. Tyler Tolbert. Royals put Darren Blanco on the injured list today with an Achilles injury. Not thought to be major, but a utility man in Tyler Tolbert to take his spot and his first big league game. Congratulations.
Yeah.
He'll never forget it.
Getting an at bat, playing some defense. Get rid of the nerves, I would imagine.
A lot of hard travels, hard years to earn a major league uniform and to get into a game. That's got to be family. I mean, they are locked in. Look, she's praying. It's so hard to watch the people you love.
Yeah.
It's for the players, they're just in it. I'm sure he's nervous, but man.
Nerve-wracking for the family, right?
It's an extraordinary accomplishment. And he buckles in. Anderson slings one in, a strikeout.
Got that slider right on the inside corner, not exactly where he wanted it. Well, he's in the book, the baseball encyclopedia. Do they actually have a hard copy of that anymore?
I used to love that. I haven't seen one in so long.
It's probably online.
I would just pour through that, all those names.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget. You know, my brother made his major league debut in 1993, and they were still producing that book. And then the next edition that came out, I think it was 95. First thing I did, go to the A's. And then you pass by the Aarons and all the Andersons, and there was Mike Anderson in the book.
Yep, in the book. That's what they call it. I'm in the book.
You're in the book. Hunter Renfroe here with one away. 8th inning. After the Royals batted around last inning, they've scored 10 runs on 12 hits. Brewers just scored on a Churio 2-out RBI double. Renfroe drove in with a 2-out single in the first. Matter of fact, I'm looking at Grant Anderson here wearing number 56. That was the number that my older brother had when he got called up. Only the elite get the right to wear a big league uniform. It may seem insignificant when you're in the context of a major league setting, but think about all those hard years and all that work and sacrifice, all those stops along the way to get here. Renfroe flies out, 2 outs in the inning, and we kick it down to Sophia Minard.
BA, you guys have been talking about the pitching reinforcements, and Pat Murphy spoke about that before the game. He sees it as sort of 2 tiers. There's the players that are coming back hopefully in the month of April, and that includes Tobias Myers, who threw a 2-inning bullpen yesterday, just over 30 pitches. He's going to throw another 2-inning live simulated game here on Thursday, and after that he hopes to go out on a rehab assignment. So he's trending in the right direction with his oblique injury. And then Nick Mears, he's another reliever that the Brewers were counting on here for opening day and opening week. He's been dealing with an illness going back to spring training. He's eligible to come off April 8th. He and Tobias Myers are on a similar timeline. They're hoping Aaron Savali will have a short time on the IL with the hamstring, and then Jose Quintana as well.
Need them all, Sophia. Hopefully the Brewers can figure out how to score some runs and keep the other team down in the meantime.
There's Pat Murphy, his team off to a rough start here. First 4 games of the season, they trail 10-1 here. We're at the Gruber Law Office's One Call. That's all. Sports Desk getting set for Brewers Live postgame presented by Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin. Just a lot of runs still on that board against Brewer pitching.
Well, I think what we're getting a glimpse at is how important momentum is in this game of baseball. The Yankees series carrying over here already into game 1 home opener. You have to go back to July of 23, last time the Brewers lost 4 in a row. So they haven't had to face this kind of adversity. They're going to have to bounce back tomorrow.
All right, we've got our big post-game show coming up here for the home opener. The Royals obviously attacking early. The Brewers had some missed opportunities early as well. We'll hear from Pat Murphy and then stick around for that. I mean, you know, it's been a rough start. And by the way, I want to thank everybody for those kind words in the pregame show for year number 25. That meant a lot to me. I appreciate James Stewart for putting that together edit-wise, and Stephen Watson for organizing. You guys are all the best. Love you all.
Craig, congratulations on 25 years. You're one of the signature sounds of Brewers baseball, and that was a beautiful piece. It was great to watch your reactions. I was a little disappointed, though, Craig. They left out all of your video from the Dells when you were going shirtless in the Speedo down the slides. I mean, that's what we all came to see.
Well, I tell you, this is why I don't edit, though, Brian. You know, I would have had him in there. You know that.
Tell you what, jacked as always.
No shirt.
Ah, those were the days. That's being around for 25 years. That's wow.
That's your screensaver on your computer, though, isn't it? Yeah.
Now it's Vinny Rottino doing those type of shots out there with his kids. So.
No shirt down the slide with the belly cam.
Just with a 6-pack. Well, actually, 2 6-packs. One in his hand.
Always one in the hand.
See, that's the kind of laugh I used to try to get out of Craig right at the end of a segment, and then I would have to go to break.
Our old joke used to be, you know, because Craig attended every college in Wisconsin, he's a real man of the people.
I know everybody. I know all the tell. Look at that one.
Look at that.
That's Rockin' I in day 1 of this ballpark back in 2001.
Man,
how about that? Man alive.
Looking good.
I don't know. I guess the color didn't chroma key over that green wall very well back then.
Power alleys were still in place, though. This is one of my favorites here, actually.
Yeah.
You guys got wiped out with shaving cream.
We were on the field for that, and Richie Sexton, Jeremy Brunitz came up with a couple of shaving cream pods. Look at Craig. Craig wiped his lips off, and then he didn't miss a beat. He just kept doing the show.
Hoskins strikes out for the first out.
I was thinking about bailing out, but I said if Craig's staying, so am I.
Well, didn't you guys like milk cows at one point on the field?
I know one thing that we lost some weight sweating down there in those suits back in July and August, didn't we?
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
Especially Rock, of course, Brian. You know that.
He's a sweater.
Yeah.
Once I get one bead of sweat on the forehead, it's over.
Lynch knocks it down. That's going to be a base hit. And Sal Frelick with his first hit. So Vinny and Craig will be up for Brewers Live postgame. And even though the game's not going the way the Brewers want it, a lot to celebrate today. Certainly first day without Bob Uecker here in the ballpark after his passing. See the numbers on Daniel Lynch IV.
His second appearance for him. Pretty good numbers last year in limited opportunities.
Capper on the ground, chance at a double play ball, and that is the 8th. We go to the 9th. All Kansas City today. 10-1 Royals.
right, today's timer, the game winner is the Doghouse in Fredonia. If they call the Brewers by 10 o'clock tomorrow, they get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite. 414-902-4300, the number. Operators standing by.
Something we are both very familiar with, the Doghouse. Say hello to our friends at the Doghouse. That specific one and all the philosophical ones.
All the future ones that we're going to be in.
Might be in one right now, actually. Ninth inning here. Grant Anderson taking the ball back out there. Brewers desperately need him to finish this game. You don't want to have another position player pitch. They've already done that twice in the first 3 games of the year. And a liner fair, Canna just inside the bag. And he's on his way to second base. It'll be a double to start the inning. That is the 13th hit for Kansas City. Canna's got his first on base 3 times. Michael Garcia started the game in center field, his first start in center in the major leagues, now playing second base. Homered in the 2nd inning, walked with the bases loaded in the 7th, so he's driven in 2 runs on 2 walks and a home run. Fly ball to Frelick, and Canna stays put, out number 1. How about a word from our friends at Diggers Hotline?
Hey buddy, does even your project need Diggers Hotline? There could be electrical, gas, or internet lines right under your feet. Every time you dig, Diggers Hotline.
Cavan Biggio is going to get a pinch hit appearance here. He'll hit for India. Son of the Hall of Famer, Craig Biggio.
India with a good day at the plate, 3 hits.
India's day is done. He's a nice fit here for Kansas City. Acquired from the Reds. Biggio, base hit to left. Canna will be set. Throw comes in late. And a pinch hit RBI single from Cavan Biggio makes it 11-1.
That wasn't a bad pitch. That was right on the outside corner. Sinker went right with it. 14 hits for Kansas City. Pitch up a little bit, but it was away. He went right with it. Good piece of hitting by Biggio to drive in a run.
First ball swinging. Witt, liner to center. A lot of early swings. And 2 men are out. Bobby Witt, 2 hits today, 2 steals, drove in a run, scored a run. The Bobby Witt kind of game. Three day games today in the big leagues. Boston and Baltimore are in the 8th inning. Baltimore leads that one 5-3. And Philadelphia hosting Colorado. That's a good game there. 1-0 Rockies. Bottom 7. Those are the 3 day games. Everybody else is tonight. Oh, I beg your pardon. There was a day game went final. Twins and White Sox. White Sox are 500. They shut out the Twins. 9-0. Twins are 0-4. Did you want any more details on the White Sox?
I'm good.
Okay. I got it here if you need it.
I'm good. Well, if you want to.
Two and 2 on the record after what they endured last year.
Yeah, right.
Break up the Sox. Our man Walter McKinven left the Brewers staff. He's the bench coach there in Chicago now. New manager in Will Venable.
Dodgers are 5-0.
Oof. Dodgers look scary.
Padres are 4-0.
Also look scary. Who knows where this winding road will take us this year.
One thing you do know, there'll be better days ahead.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
Nowhere else to go at this point after
They'll get it going.
A start like this.
When you play 162 games and 0-4 start, you can recover from.
By the way, Freddie Fermin getting a pinch hit appearance. He's the backup catcher. Pasquantino's day is over. Three and two the count. How's your bracket looking? Your March Madness bracket?
Didn't do one. You? Are you allowed?
I didn't do it.
Are you allowed?
I think I'm allowed. I don't know. Never been told not to. I just never have done it. I mean, not never, but in the years I've called it, I've never done it. I used to have 3 or 4 going.
Who do you got winning it? Duke?
I'm gonna ride with Duke. They're all great though. The 4 1 seeds that are in it, excellent.
Yeah.
Kind of got a sentimental push for Auburn with Bruce Pearl and his Milwaukee connections, former UWM coach. That is a swing and a miss, a strikeout to end the inning, and we go to the bottom of the ninth. Last call for the Brew Crew. They're down 10. Might as well get 11. Good news, bad news kind of day. Opening day here at American Family Field. Good news is we're set up for a summer of fun with the Milwaukee Brewers. Baseball is back. With an 11-1 Royals lead as Isaac Collins down the left field line hooking foul. Day to forget on the field today. Brewers pitching staff continues to scuffle. Today was a by committee day as well. Elvin Rodriguez gave up 4 earned runs in a spot start. Royals with 11 runs on 14 hits. And the Brewers just mustering the 1-run rock. That was a Churio RBI double. So some ERAs are taking a beating here in the early part of the schedule.
The Royals with 11 runs, and they've stranded 10 on the bases. There have been men on base all day for Kansas City.
Rodriguez giving up 4 earnings in 4 innings. Peguero 4 earned runs in an inning and a third. And Grant Anderson giving up 3 earned runs in 2 2/3. Those are tough to whittle back down, especially for relievers. We'll do it again tomorrow. No, back tomorrow night. Chuck and Vinny will have the pregame show for you. First night game of the year tomorrow. Collins back up the middle. Flagged by Garcia. Throw to first in time. Wow.
Nice play.
Special play by Michael Garcia.
Yes, sir.
Takes a hit away from Collins.
Yeah, tough part of that play, getting it out of the glove and making a good throw to first. Got to keep that balance. Keep the feet under you. Check it out. Man, what a play. Nice.
Got his first start in center field today. Garcia was the shortstop when Bobby Witt made it to the big leagues. He was so skilled at short. There was some talk that they would move Witt to the outfield, but then Bobby Witt became a superstar. And it is Garcia who has had to move around a little bit. He's not moving for a decade or more. But both of them are exceptional defenders. Oh, and to the count to Joey Ortiz.
A lot of good young talent in the big leagues these days, right? A lot of good players.
And young players come up ready to go, too, ready to contribute. I think it's part of the culture of Major League Baseball now. I think these players are around their big league teammates when they arrive in spring training, or there's just a different kind of connection. Much different back in your day. You showed up, they were trying to find a way to get rid of you.
Yeah, well, you had to earn your keep. You know, it wasn't one of those things where you came to the clubhouse and you automatically were one of the guys. You had to really establish yourself, and not the case these days. I mean, these veteran guys embrace new players, guys that come up, and I like it. I think it's great, and the Brewers organization is about as good at that as any.
Got to have it. It's the way the organization has to flow to be successful. You got to utilize your minor league system. You got to draft well, sign players well, and
can't make mistakes on player development or player decisions.
Yeah, the margins are thin. Brewers have done a great job at that. A lot of young talent with his team. Aaron Ashby and Sal Freeland, 2 of those guys. Hard hit ball right to Witt. 2 outs. 4 games in, we got a lot to go here. Kansas City, the next 2 games, next 2 days here. Day game Wednesday. Hit the air at 6 o'clock tomorrow on FanDuel Sports Network. Reds are in for 4. Day off Monday, and then the 2-city road trip. Turang, the last hope for the Brewers. Brewers don't have a public pitching plan yet. I'm sure they know what they will do at this point. It's going to be another bullpen by committee day, I think. That'll be tomorrow's game against Michael Lorenzen and the Royals. And then it's a matchup of aces on Wednesday. Cole Reagans against Freddie Peralta. That is an outstanding pitching matchup.
Freddie was really good in New York.
Reagan's off to a slow start. That'll do it. Turang strikes out. 3 up, 3 down inning for Lynch. And the Royals spoil the party here at American Family Field for the home opener. 11-1 the final. Kansas City with a 3-run first and a put-away 6-run 6th inning. And the Brewers drop to 0-4. Kansas City evens their season record at 2-2 after they dropped a series to Cleveland. We got a lot more coming up. Craig and Vinny standing by. Sophia down on the field. Brewers Live coming your way next, and then we'll catch all of you tomorrow night here on FanDuel Sports Network. For Bill Schroeder, Brian Anderson saying so long until tomorrow, everyone.